Hello, I'm Heather Lorenz. I'm the Visual Arts Manager at the Northfield Arts Guild, and welcome to the virtual tour of Belonging. This show has been in development for over a year, with the driving motivation to showcase artists in our community and region who had not previously exhibited their work at the Guild. We initiated a call, specifically looking for artists, exploring the concept of belonging. As this subject is open to various interpretations, we wanted to learn what that meant to the artist and how they reference belonging in their artwork. This opportunity was open to artists at all levels, from emerging to professional. Art is reflective of the time and space in which it was created, and each viewer can see different themes and ideas based on their own experiences. We are grateful to these artists for sharing their work, which feels even more timely now than ever, and acknowledge that conversations around acceptance and inclusivity have been happening and continue. Thank you for joining us in this conversation. What you will see in this virtual tour is artwork referencing themes around connection, inclusion, value, acceptance, and community, featuring 13 regional artists in their Guild debut. We're starting with these collages by Lillian Ingabire. This first piece is titled This Little Piggy. This one is titled Not My Shepherd. And this one is titled Girls Like Us, First Generation. When reflecting on these pieces, Lillian wrote the following: I was born in a refugee camp, being deprived of the connection with my motherland ever since birth, and instead being in constant fearful search for shelter, has shaped my journey of self-discovery. I am constantly looking for a place to belong, a place to call home. Oftentimes in my work, I am drawn to my childhood memories of when my family and I were living in refugee camps. I also explore my identity as a Black woman, as well as the role of societal expectations. Next is this triptych by Pam Buschow. This oil and cold wax painting is titled Into the Night. Pam explains the inspiration behind this piece, quote, "You need not be afraid of the night. There are moments of enlightenment all around us where we can find inspiration and the connectedness we really are." This sterling silver and enameled copper sculpture by Yifei Zhu is titled Lantern Bringing Me Home. She explains that to a 22-year-old international student who came to the United States for college, home seems to be very far away, both mentally and physically. Even though some memory of home has been fading, the sweet memory of her favorite festival, the Chinese Lantern Festival, is always vivid. The pleasant odor of sesame dumpling balls, the handmade paper lanterns that children carry around, and the family gathering for dinner. In this nostalgic piece, she replaced the traditional candle in the lantern with a blue orchid because her mother always told her to live like a fearless orchid. While her schoolmates hang dream catchers next to their beds to drive nightmares away, she hangs her tiny silver lantern instead, wishing for a sweet dream of her family, her favorite festival, and her home. These acrylic paintings by Breska are part of a series called It's Not You, It's Me. Callie reflects on these paintings. There's a certain degree of security that comes with feeling like we belong not to some place or something, but with someone. It's Not You, It's Me explores the conflicting nature of one's assumptions, intentions, and realities once that security is taken away. Stemming from my fascination with the physicalities of the human body and the emotions commonly assigned to them, the series raises the question, who is to blame when a relationship plummets? It's Not You, It's Me aims to expose my own destructive response to that question by exploring the chaos that abounds in the absence of belonging, as well as the futility of seemingly quick fixes. These next works are by Johanna Torbenson, who says, "The idea of belonging has become a prominent theme in my artwork because our family's 3 youngest children experienced foster care without a permanent home in Colombia for 4 years. With this painting titled Alejandro, Cherished Son, I celebrate my connection with him." She continues, "Through my artwork, I mourn the time that I didn't get to nurture them as babies and young children before their relocation and celebrate their inclusion into our home. In Matrix, I drew all of my children as babies. And in this drawing, the silent nourisher represents our struggles as we move through the transitional phase of inclusion. This oil painting, titled Keep Going, is by Wyatt Bailiff, who says, "I created this piece for my uncle who passed away from brain cancer earlier this year. For me, it shows belonging because of how it pictures my uncle exactly where I imagine he is right now, waiting patiently. Even if it seems he left our family too soon, I know this is where he belongs, and eventually we'll get to meet again on the peaceful waters. Until then, we will keep going." This hand-bound book of images and texts by Wen-Li Chen is titled To My Unborn Child. She writes, "I often incorporate my own experiences as a half-Taiwanese indigenous national currently residing in a Western country by utilizing a range of methods, including language, literature, photography, documentation, and archival materials to explore what is lost, unintentional, or omitted, intentional, during generational and regional exchange. The materials I choose to create artworks during the process is often being selected and reconstructed/manipulated to highlight the sensibility after being relocated and the drifting sense of belonging. This book and her video, Wisp, continues to have conversations related to intergenerational issues, the loss of sensibility, and the uncertainty of belonging. In a separate video, we will show this entire book, and viewers can watch the whole Wisp video on the Belonging exhibition page on the Guild's website, northfieldartsguild.org. With her video titled Belonging, Avigail Manneberg says, "I chose to leave Israel over a decade ago, a departure that is perceived as betrayal and even treason in parts of the Jewish-Israeli psyche. I sought to make present the past of Miyar, the lost Palestinian village, an unattainable home of its descendants, who long for it to this day. I have observed how my family and friends reacted to my outsider-insider perspective and kept asking myself whether I belong. I invited members from both communities to a conversation in silence with me. This act of conversing through gaze gave a physical space for taboos to surface and float. This situation I created was set within the intimacy of familiar communities. The atmosphere was very emotionally charged as I was confronting my parents and childhood friends with political and social taboos. I positioned myself as a mirror to the community, and at the same time I was examining my own reflection in the eyes of the community." Viewers will be able to watch the entire Belonging video on the Belonging exhibition page on the Guild's website, northfieldartsguild.org. This diptych, titled Olives, is an acrylic painting by Avigail Manneberg. About this piece, she states the following: "My social and cultural identity changed when I became a mother to American-based children, and I felt a need to represent another place for them as their potential home. Could ideology and political shifts change one's meaning for what they call home? Could one undo a home? I ask whether it is necessary for me to reconcile social conflicts in order to call a place home while considering the repercussions for my children." This is an acrylic painting by Breska titled A Piece of Cake. This acrylic painting by Helene Woods is titled Standing Room. She describes it as a study of how we, as human beings, are always isolated and interconnected simultaneously. The idea was the anonymity of a crowded room where we are physically close but internally separate, yet should communication occur, our connections are revealed. Anna Freeberg created this gouache on paper painting titled Hortensia. Of this piece, Anna explains that belonging is a very important topic to me. As a Mexican-American woman, I have never truly found a place that I feel accepted by both cultures I carry with me. This piece takes inspiration from the many works of Mexican artist Frida Kahlo. Many elements and details in this piece pay homage to my family through the inclusion of the hydrangea, hortensia flower, my embroidered weeple shirt, and the red-winged blackbird perched on my shoulder. These elements carry stories and display the balance I attempt to find when thinking about where I belong through my identity and ethnicity. She continues, "I know I belong in the artistic community. I know I can display my cultures, experiences, and stories this way. The expression of my art and culture truly helps heal my feelings of displacement, for I find home in sharing my unique set of experiences with others." This acrylic painting by Rynearson is titled Dreamer. Of this piece, Anne explains, "Dreamer is a painting that infers our connection with nature in macro-microscopic simultaneity. This work represents being and belonging in an existential sense." These embroidered pieces by Emily Swanson are titled Bouquet, Prairie, and Springtime. Of the inspiration for creating these pieces, Emily writes the following: "I walk thoughtfully through the land, intimately knowing the plants around me, like when I talk to the apple tree as I prune it, or praying for the garlic to be strong to endure the dark months of winter, or when I tenderly brush aside a branch with a gentle touch of hello. As I nourish and cherish the land I live in, it in turn nourishes my body, my heart in the overwhelming beauty that surrounds me, and my soul as I'm constantly drawn toward my loving Creator. So when I create, it's to reflect the deep connection I have with and to the land, and the delight I have in being a farmer." Sophia Davies created these graphite and ink drawings titled Detached Identity of Family. This set of 4 drawings depicts her immediate family: father, mother, brother, and herself. Sophia says with this piece, she, quote, explores the theme of community by examining to whom I belong. The concept of detached identity is explored simultaneously through community and individuality. The continuation of medium and style across each piece connects them as a whole, while the physical separation and lack of expression conveys singularity. Through this, I can explain that while a family is considered homogeneous, it is made up of different people. In addition to this virtual tour, we have photos and videos of the artworks on the Guild Facebook page. Search under #belonging. And we have created a catalog of all of the artworks seen here, many of which are for sale. All purchases will support both the artist and the Guild. We invite you to join us for a virtual reception on Thursday, June 18 from 6:30 to 7:30 to celebrate these artists. At this online event, we will hear from the artists and learn which 3 artworks in the exhibition have been selected to receive the Brown Family Awards in memory of Galen A. Brown. For details on this exhibition, how to join us for the reception, or how to purchase artworks, please visit our website, northfieldartsguild.org. Thanks for joining me for this virtual tour of Belonging.